All right, so if you have any sort of charge-offs, I don't care if it's even a foreclosure, it's going to fall into the same category. You need to know how to remove them from your credit report. And while I'm not going to give you a massive tutorial, I am going to give you some steps and some tips that you can take straight to the bank because, hey, look, this is the stuff that you're only going to learn on my channel. Now, hopefully, the emergency broadcast system is not going to cut into this live because they've been testing it on mobile phones for the past couple of minutes. So if that happens, I apologize in advance. But if you have even collections, this is also going to work for you. Now, one thing that you want to understand is that a credit sweep is totally and completely different than regular credit repair. So this is not where you were going and sending out dispute letters with a bunch of law, okay? And you hear me say this all the time, and yes, I have tons of videos that break down this process going back 9 years. Yeah, 1,600 videos going back 9 years. That's a lot. That's hundreds of hours of my time that I've given to you to give you the correct process, and I've proven to you over these 9 years that this actually works. But regular credit repair takes years. We're not talking about 6 months. No, we're talking about 12 to 24 months. Why? Because normally, and this is if you go to a company, right? They only dispute a couple things per month. They only do one bureau at a time. They use a ton of laws, and their dispute letters are 4 pages, and it says, pursuant to 1681, blah, 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 Congress stipulates that. No, you don't need to do any of that. Your dispute letters need to be very, very, very simple and to the point, because it's actually the dispute reason itself that removes the account, okay? And you know what? You can say whatever you want to. You can give me a thumbs down. You can throw tomatoes at me and daggers. I don't care. I prove to you over and over and over again, day in, day out, an entire playlist that this process works, but it's going to take you a lot of work to get these things off, okay? Now, do you even know how to check to see if it's a charge-off on your credit report? If you don't know, when you go and you pull your Smart Credit or Identity IQ or My Score IQ credit report, go and check to see if the account is with the original creditor. That's number one. Number two is check to see the payment status. If it says charge-off, or charge off, or written off, or collection charge off, it's actually a charge off. Go and check out the payment history. If it says CO, 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 or if it went 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, CO, those are charge offs, okay? Now that we are on the same page, we need to talk about how to actually remove these. And I do need to turn my phone on because I have to actually go, we're recording with one phone and got another phone to make sure that we're keeping track of the time. I have to go pick up my kids from school. So here's the deal. When you are disputing these things, you need to make sure, and you can go check out my video from this morning and the video from last night, but you 100% need to make sure you are using the facts from the credit report. F-A-C-T-S. Facts. If you are sending out disputes without this information to support your argument, you are not going to get them off. You cannot just say, delete this account because it's inaccurate. Why is it inaccurate? What are you telling them? How are you proving that this account needs to be removed? You see, that's the entire basis for factual disputes, right? It's not where you're just saying something. You need to state what you want them to do, delete or correct, right, in general, and then you need to tell them why. What is it that is on your credit report that is going to make the difference of whether they keep it on there or not? Because the one thing that you want to remember is that the credit bureaus have zero incentive to remove these things from your credit report. Yeah, keep that one in mind, right? So remember, they make money off your inaccurate information, regardless of what it does to you, what your score is going to be. They don't care. They'll lower your credit score within reason. So about 600 or so, the more money they make when they sell it to potential lenders. That's the entire process. That's the whole thing behind this, all right? So we have a maximum of 15 minutes to get through this because it is 2:31 and I got to leave at 2:45 to go pick up my little guys. So very first thing, when you go and you look at your credit report, the very first thing that I want for you to do is go and, in a hierarchy or a triangle or an inverted pyramid, put the things that are the most likely to remove the account at the top. Now, if you don't even know how to break down an account, it's actually pretty simple. So we're going to start with blatant inaccuracies and blatant violations. And while we're doing this, let's put this phone on silent. I believe it is on silent now. Okay, so blatant inaccuracies and blatant violations. What the heck does that mean? It means if you're looking at the account and it has like 3 different balances, it has 3 different past dues, it has 3 different whatever, or even 2, or you know that you're looking at a charge-off, which is a closed account, and yet it says open. You know you're looking at a charge-off, but it says a monthly payment. Okay, you cannot have a monthly payment on a closed account. That's number 1, okay? The second thing is when you're looking at these blatant violations and these blatant inaccuracies, you need to understand what it is that you should be looking for. And when after I go and pick up my kids, I will come back to this, and in the description, I will put one of my many videos on how an account should and should not report, okay? And obviously I have a whole course on this, which you can access down in the description, I believe, but it's sendme2.co/steroids, okay? So after blatant inaccuracies and violations, go and check out that date of last payment. Date of last payment is important, okay? First of all, smash that like, because ain't nobody else gonna tell you these things. They just want you to go and buy courses and only get one little part of the whole picture, when I give all of my secrets away to you for free over the course of, again, 9 years, all right? So date of last payment stipulates when this account is naturally going to fall off, right? 7 years, right? So when we're looking at this, if we have 3 different dates, even if it's, you know, if it's a month, whatever, who cares? But a lot of the times we're talking about it showing 2017, 2018, and 2020. Or what if it was 2017 and hey, your account was going to come off this year in December, but when you disputed, they illegally re-aged it, and now it says 2023. So Experian is showing that the account was going to come off in December of this year, but Equifax is showing that, hey, it's another 7 years that you have to wait. So that means that the account's not naturally going to fall off this year or at the same time, but 7 years apart. That is the number 1 way to remove things from your credit report. A, by looking for the date of last payment inaccuracy, and B, there's a violation when it's been illegally re-aged. And you would say something to the effect of, delete this account for violation because, you always have to say because, why? Remember, backing everything with the facts. You illegally re-aged this account from whatever that original date was. And even if you don't know it, go look at your previous credit report where it does show what it was, to X 2023, you know, January 2023 or whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be 2023. I'm just saying the actual new date that they illegally re-aged it to. Now this is a violation, and therefore the account needs to be removed, okay? Another thing, and you hear me say this all the time, this is in the video I posted last night, it is in the short that I posted this morning, and it is one of the most important things. If you are going to listen to anything, you need to listen to this, okay? And this is the reason why you should be subscribed to my videos, to my channel, because these are the things that I give to you all the time. If you dispute something, it needs to be marked as disputed within 30 days pursuant to FCRA 623A3 and AC and FDCPA 807A. Why does that matter? Why should you care? Well, you should care because this is actually what I've used over the course of 5.5 years, 5 3/4 years, to permanently remove charge-offs from my clients' credit reports in the amount of about 50,000 negative items. That is why you should care, because men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I prove it all the time, okay? Right here on my channel, honey. This works, all right? You dispute something, Section 623 states that if a consumer disputes something, doesn't matter if it's a collection, a charge-off, a late payment, whatever, it must be marked as disputed in the comment section. It'll say consumer disputes account, consumer disagrees, whatever. It has to say that you disputed it within 30 days from them receiving that first dispute. If it is not there, Section 623 is very clear that an account that was disputed and is not marked as in dispute cannot report on the credit report. I have a whole course on this. Normally I tag my products, but I did not tag it on this because I didn't want it sitting right there on the bottom. But I have a whole course on this. It's called the Guaranteed Deletion Debt Validation Dispute Method. Yeah, it's a big mouthful, right? You can access it at sendme2.co/VOD. VOD. All right. So here's the deal. There's so many other things that you can dispute outside of this, but we're going to go very quickly from top to bottom. And let me just check the time really quick. So, all right, we have a couple minutes, about 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, blatant inaccuracies, blatant violations, then date of last payment. If the date of last payment is the same across all three bureaus, go check out the date last reported if you have already disputed. So when you dispute, the bureaus are supposed to investigate, and if they say that it's verified, because you obviously know that they don't verify anything, they don't investigate, there's just two computers talking to each other, okay, that they're supposed to change the date last reported or the date last updated to be when they verified the account. And if it's not changed, if it's not updated to be when they actually verified it, then that means that they did not do an investigation. So there's a couple of ways to see if they just spit your disputes and put them in the garbage, or whether they actually, investigated your account. The notice of dispute, the date last reported being changed, changed information, actual results being sent to you in the mail, a new credit report that you requested, okay? So check that date last reported. If it is not changed and it still shows 2017 or beginning of 2020, even though it should have said August or September, you have a violation, okay? They did not investigate, all right? Something you would say for this would be, delete this account for failure to legally investigate, and then you would put the date last reported still shows X from the original credit report, even though I disputed last month and you received it because my certified mail number is blah, 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 okay? So that is how you would handle that. Now, on the next round, go and check out that notice of dispute, see if it's there. If it's not, attack that violation, okay? So now, past that, we have something called the evolution line method. What this is I have a whole workshop and a whole webinar on it, but what this is a strategy that allows you to stay at the top of that hierarchy, right? With the things that are most likely to remove the account, like first day delinquency. We didn't talk about that one yet. Payment history, such as, all three bureaus reporting totally different dates. Hey, you were on time, but you were also late by 60 days. Or you're 30 days, but you're also 60 and 90 days late. Those are the things that are also going to remove your account. Again, smash that like. These are the things that are going to remove these charge-offs from your credit report. I prove to you all the time that it works, okay? So another thing that you want to do is with the evolution line method, this again allows you to stay at the top of the hierarchy, right? So in first day delinquency, notice of dispute, date last reported, date last active, and date last paid. Those are the 5 things that are most likely to remove your accounts. So with credit repair in general, right? Once you utilize a dispute reason, you can't go back and reuse that dispute reason, right? Because it'll come back as frivolous. So what do? How can you reuse a dispute reason so that now you're not going down into the stuff that just doesn't matter, like a balance when the balance is the same across all 3 bureaus, or the open date, or stuff like that, terms, status, blah blah blah. How do you refrain or avoid using those and still use the same thing all over again? Well, it's very, very simple. You see, when Experian comes back with their stall tactics and says, hey, we're not going to reinvestigate unless you have new and relevant information. Well, guess what? That's pursuant to Section 611, and you do have new and relevant information. It means a new dispute reason that you have not previously used, right? If you used first day delinquency, now you're going to date last paid, now you're going to date last active, now you're going to the notice of dispute, to blah, 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 okay? So here's the thing, though. When you dispute, a lot of times when you don't get a deletion, they will change or update something on your credit report. So if the date last paid previously said, 3 dates of whatever, right? So 2017, 2019, 2020, and now it says 2022, 2020, and 2021, now you have totally different information, even if it's only one bureau that is reporting this new information. And this doesn't just go for the date last paid. This can go for anything that was changed on your credit report, but we're only staying at the top of the hierarchy. Now, with payment history, if you disputed the first day delinquency, you can go to the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. You can dispute the fact that they didn't enter the required notice dispute, and they didn't update the date last reported, and first day delinquency reports, blah, blah, blah. So this is why it's so important that you take an account and you literally chop it all apart into different sections. Take your highlighter and you're going to go and you're going to find all those inaccuracies and all those violations, and then you're going to mark it up and you're going to say, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. This is what I do for my clients. This is all of the energy that I put into every single credit file every single time. Why? Is it easy? Hell no, it's not easy. Do I use my own software that I created on my clients? Absolutely not. That's a tool that I created for you to easily dispute your, credit report, because look, I've been doing this for 12 years. I'm an A-rated certified expert with a CCA. I don't need a tool to do any of that. I do it manually by looking at the credit report on one screen. I have 3 screens when I'm working. Screen 1, your credit report. Screen number 2 is where I'm actually writing out the letter manually every single time for every single client, which is why this is, there's only so much of me to go around, so much attention, and that is very simply why I only take on so many clients in my program at one time. Speaking of which, if you need help, because I do believe that I have to go now, if you do need help, 3 minutes left. If you do need help and you want to see if I can do a credit sweep for you, you have 2 different options, okay? Actually, you have 3. Okay, I posted a video yesterday letting you know that there is a way to get a guaranteed credit sweep, and you can go check it out at sendme2.co/Credzu, CREDZU, Credzu. It's where we utilize a disinterested third party, which is Credzu, and between both of us, myself and you, and we utilize escrow. So that means that I don't have to worry about being scammed, and neither do you. So it's a great marketing point, right? So I only get paid when I actually render the service exactly according to contract, and that is why I love Credzu, okay? You have no worries, and neither do I. That is number 1. Number 2 is you can head over to my740.com, schedule a call with me, and see if I can personally do your credit sweep for you, okay? Because I don't need, pyramids and, spreadsheets and blah, blah, blah. No, I look at a credit report and know exactly what I need to do and exactly in what order to get you that deletion, to remove your charge-offs, your foreclosures, your bankruptcies, your judgments, your tax liens, your inquiries, your whatever. I'm an expert. Been doing this for 12 years, okay? If you want to see some awesome, amazing results, head over and check out my playlist. It's on the playlist, okay? Now, the third option is if you want to see pricing, head over to sendme2.co/sweep, SWEEP. All right, that is it. I gotta go pick up my little boys, and I will see you later. But there is a way for you to legally and permanently remove your charge-offs. It's not gonna take 100 years. You doing it yourself, if you're just getting started, maybe you're looking at, 8 to 12 months. Me doing it for you, you're looking at like 3 to 6. But I give you all the tools, all the resources that you need to be able to go in and legally and permanently remove these. And yes, this is gonna be frustrating, but you are going to get it. You're going to get that score up, and you're going to go out there and you're going to get a house like we did. You're going to get cars like we did. You're going to have credit like we do. You're going to have a great score like we do, and you're not going to have to worry about watching these videos with some chick telling you that, hey, you could do it, okay? So I believe in you. I know that you could do this. All it's going to take is a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and a little bit of investment into yourself. And no, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about time and studying and everything that goes into this to be able to get that new life, because that's exactly what it is. Your credit literally determines where you live, where you work, how much money you make, what's in the bank, what you drive, whether you got a hoopty or whether you got a really nice car, whether you can finance, whether you have to save up for 5 months before going out and getting that car, okay? It also determines your securities, your deposits, your down payments, your everything. We got a 2023 Dodge Challenger with 0 interest and 0 down. Okay, so yeah, does it happen? Absolutely, all the time. Go out and get that score. And I've proven over the last 9 years here on YouTube that all these things are possible when you do it the right way. And I've documented my entire journey. It was not overnight. It did take work, but hey, we did it. And if you want to do it too, you know exactly how. My740.com. I gotta go pick up my kids, so I will see you later.